This is the reason I can walk for the last 12 to 15 years. When you are very, very injured, barbell tends not to work out for you at all. Think about lifting a big symmetrical weight with one knee not working. I had this exact issue 2 weeks ago. I was so crippled I couldn't walk. My leg was the size of my head. The thing that we always come back to first, for me, is a suitcase deadlift, because it allows me to put my feet together and control my knee. When you're really injured, people tend to turn out, they do something weird with their knee, and they tend to make things worse, not better. To start rebuilding from injury, put your feet all the way together, because you can check that they are both straight ahead. Now we can predict how our knees are actually moving. Suitcase deadlift, pretty simple. Get down, pick it all the way up, squeeze your glutes at the top, pull your kneecaps up, straighten your body out. Get all the way down. Because my feet are together, I can check if my knees are bending the same way. If you're deadlifting with a bar, people tend to kick to one side because they're not bending their joints the same way. Solve that problem by putting your feet all the way together. Now you can see if one knee is bending more than the other. You can check and you can try to force your body back into line. Suitcase deadlift, always something that you work on. Whenever you're injured, whenever you're healthy, this is one of the best exercises you can do. When you're injured, you do it light. When you're healthy, you do it heavy. Do both sides, of course. Build up to the point where it's 200 pounds on one side and just move all of your deadlift to one side, but always check that your feet are straight and your knees are in line. For people who are really, really hurt, that matters a lot. Next up after that is a box squat. A box squat allows us to squat to a target. Once again, feet together. Let's pick up our weight. Feet together so we can check if our knees are bending the same. Instead of trying to squat a barbell super heavy and messing one leg up, our goal here is to pick our feet up a little bit, force our core on, drive all the way up. Once again, we can check if our legs are bending the same. Once you've been hurt, you're always kind of hurt. So what you will do is start with a high box and then make a lower box over time. Those feet together, check that distance, get down, check the way the knees are working, stand up. Of course, you start with a high box, stack some things up, squat to something super stable, get down, but you're always checking the flexion of your knee, the rotation of your spine. If you have back injuries, super important. Last thing, we always go back to some type of press. Press with weight on one side of the body, so we can check if we are standing all the way up, if our elbows are locking out, and we can build on top of that. Press all the way out, lock out. The weight on one side of our body lets us know if we are tilted, twisted, rotated, or doing anything weird. When you're hurt, return to the pure basics. A suitcase deadlift, a box squat, make it lower as you recover, and a single-sided press. Two other major ideas that you need to do every time you're hurt: add in Indian clubs. Indian clubs are short levers that we can swing in increasingly complex patterns in order to remove the fear reactivity. When you get hurt, your body tries to stop working. When your leg stops working, you start to shift all your weight to the good side. You start to collapse. If it's a shoulder, you try not to use it, you hunch. No matter what your injury is, Indian clubs will help you restore that basic movement. Every time that weight swings, your weight is shifting back and forth from side to side. A lot of people get knee injuries, ankle injuries, hip injuries, and they never recover because they stand in one side and they stay there forever. When we do Indian clubs, we are doing hundreds of reps. Think about doing this for 10 to 20 minutes nonstop. And every time we swing those weights, we are forcing our body back to the center. We are opening our rib cage. We are focusing on breathing again. The final thing that we always do is we go back to heavy throwing patterns. Think about this Indian clubs, light Indian clubs, 1 to 5 pounds. Most people are going to use 1 to 2 pounds forever. Think about that as posture and breathing. Think about that as physical therapy every day forever. This is the athletic version of physical therapy every day forever. We always go back to focusing on inside circles, outside circles, and shield cast. Honestly, this is the reason I can walk for the last 12 to 15 years. Point your feet straight ahead. If one leg is turned out, and you're doing something weird with that knee, you're not going to make your life better, you're going to make your life worse. Feet pointed straight ahead, inside circle, push, swing, pull, catch, push, swing, pull, catch, push, swing, pull, catch. Same idea. We're shifting our weight laterally. The heavier the club, the faster you move, the more you are dragging your body out of center, and the more you are fighting back. You are learning to rotate your ankles, knees, and hips, and you're gonna end up doing hundreds of reps per workout. Inside goes towards our center line, which gets our weight to shift from this leg to this leg and back and forth. But we can do it opposite of that. Outside, push, swing, pull, catch. Push, swing, pull, catch. We get light on one side, we get heavy. We get light, we get heavy. We're working on shifting our weight back and forth forever. The side effect is these look exactly like shoulder therapy exercises. When we do an inside circle, we catch, we rotate across, we catch, we rotate across. If you've done a bunch of therapy because you've been super hurt, you know that you also do the opposite of that. Outside, push, swing, pull, catch. Outside, push, swing, pull, catch. And then you'll know that you always do something like this as well. And that is our shield cast. You will notice when we do the shield cast, we have to stand all the way up. When you are hurt, you stop standing up. First thing that happens, doesn't matter what kind of injury it is, you start to get shorter. This is why people get shorter as they age. They stop standing all the way up and they don't do anything that forces them to stand up for the rest of their life. So whether it's ankle injury, knee injury, hip injury, spine injury, shoulder, elbow, wrist, neck, psoas, doesn't matter. These ideas stand. Go back to a suitcase deadlift, a box squat, and a press. Go to posture, breathing, and movement for time. Do it every day, and then go to heavy throwing patterns. This is the basics, but these ideas evolve. Kettlebells heal you because they force you to have good structure, breathing, and movement. Heavy clubs heal you because they force you to have good structure, breathing, and movement. Light clubs heal you because they force you to have good structure, breathing, and movement. When you go to the gym and you're using a machine, the machine is the structure. You are not practicing structure anymore. If you're really hurt, barbell tends not to work. It's never worked for me when I've been hurt. It's only made me worse. Kettlebells make me better. They allow me to train wherever I'm at. They allow me to train every single day, and they allow me to go from being crippled to fully functional, back and forth forever.